pressure fire.
It's going to be a lot of mind games once we do go into the picks and bans.
Well, it looks like we are going into the picks and bans right now, everyone. Anatoly, going right into it, what are some of the first bans that we're going to have to be seeing here?
We're going to have to see a
wave clear pressure. He doesn't out-clear a whole lot of different gods pre-level 7. It's really his kill pressure that really matters. And Sunder is more kill pressure. And it transitions really well into the late game as well. In the early game, Mike can use it when he's 1v2ing or has a 2v1 in his favor, but they might be a little bit short on damage. Sunder will put that in their favor. And then in the late game, it just becomes the kill tricks tank or variety button. And how often have the solo laners and supports really caused problems come late game whenever they get too tanky for the carries to handle? It does mean that Final KS either forego Blink, or they might not get a chance to get a Frenzy, they might not get a chance to get a Shell. You will lack a team fight relic with this start. It's not without its flaws, but it's been very successful for Rival, and I think it plays around their style nicely.
It's a bit risky, isn't it? It does require some pretty good early game execution, I would say, to make sure that you're getting enough value out of this pick. But it fits into Polar Bear Mike's playstyle so well. He'll pick the Sokets, the Athenas, the Fafnir like we're seeing, these gods with relatively reliable CC on that single target, and then you blow that single target up with that Sunder. And like you said, Honor's time to kill is already very short with that Desert Fury. It just accelerates that even further, shrinks that margin of error, makes it a lot easier for Panda Cat to get off to a good start.
Fafnir definitely less capable of providing that chain CC naturally as compared to the Athena.
What's up, people?
He still has a chance to, once he's transformed into that dragon, he can keep you locked down for an awfully long time. So I've got no problem with that selection for Fafnir, especially Mike. It's really between Mike and Kalas who's the best Fafnir in the world. And I think I'd give that nod to Mike right now.
Yeah, at least at this particular moment, but there have been certainly times where Kalas, I think, has earned that title for himself. You're right, those two very close. This game, though, is still pretty close, though, despite the fact that there aren't any kills. Rival have built themselves up a nice little bit of a gold lead, about 1,400 or so, and again, like I said, that's not off any kills.
It's a lot of these back harpy invades. Rival has awards there. Look at Dignitas' awards. They're all fairly defensive. They've got a couple aggressive ones heading towards dual lanes. But other than that, everything's on their own side of the map. And even the buffs that Dignitas are getting, they're getting triple or quadruple split every time. So you're splitting.
I drink RQ. That kind of sounds like I'm drinking propane.
Very, very quickly.
Well, that's just one more advantage, I feel like, of this start for Rival, though. The Hopwa in the jungle, the on her mid, this Fafnir with the Sunder. It is a lot scarier, I feel like, to move around the jungle.
I can't believe how incredibly common it is for people to be a bit burnt out.
Is that you are splitting your farm a little
To
bit
think that you are weak, unless you push beyond the limits, 110%.
This is the whole reason that Rival go with the early Uller selection. I don't think Dignitas was going to take it. They just wanted to make sure that Arkil gets a hang of it. This is the matchup they give to Arkil. Or the
100% is enough.
When they just want to let
People
him
don't even need
let Kenny out of the
95%.
cage, and they see what he can do. Jingwei, a naturally fairly.
Don't you understand that once you get burnt out, you lose your performance permanently? You have to do the same thing, maybe even 50% at worst, you know?
Let Arkil try and make a play. He's up 2 levels right now.
Yeah, and if you want any kind of indication of how much Dignitas are not considering fighting right now, I mean, the ultimate used to confirm that red buff. I mean, sure, Rival were nearby, but they weren't in a ton of duress there. Just goes to show they're probably not looking to play around Whirlwind aggressively anytime soon. And this makes some sense. Susano takes some time as Whirlwind comes under duress in middle lane, is able to make it out of there, but it cost him the beads.
Now that beads looks a little bit weird, but I wonder if it was preemptive on a water spout from Captain Twig. If he gets knocked up there, that guarantees every spear from Panda Cat on the back end.
I count it all the time. It's like a stubbornness, you know, there's not such a thing as burnout.
There's that kill pressure that we're talking about. Panda Cat doesn't have the wave clear, but he's trying to take down the enemy mid no matter what.
Making life pretty difficult for Whirlwind here so far, who's going this Book of Thoth route. You know, when we see other...
Let's say there's no depression or unhedonia.
Right away. But instead here, it's the Shoes of Focus into the Book of Thoth a little bit later on beyond that. You still like this one under this much pressure, I suppose?
Yeah, you have to be able to rotate around. You have to be able to rotate to defend your blue, defend your red. You need to be able to clear the wave quickly enough and then have the movement speed. I think that this is the right call. This level of play, you just cannot afford to go with as slow of a start as the Book of Thoth start really is for Kukulkan. And even still, once he finishes that, the stacks are going to be very relevant. But he's going to get such a...
Yeah, you need to think like this. It's only the perfect amount of recovery. Who cares how long you work office hours about
build book on Kubo.
Or in fucking numbers, you should
Just
give yourself the time you need to recover.
Too well, and Herwin should be able to capitalize on that later on. I mean, they're not going to have any shortage of setup on this team for this Kukulkan to hit home on their ultimates. And it's not just in those combinations that we see kicks into passing. And
Oh, that sounds great.
we also see it around the
Oh,
goal.
let me get my soup.
Uses the best confirmation on the map as well. Dignitas might also be considering trying to play a bit objective focus.
Ataraxia's here to help split this red buff so that it goes down in Dignitas' favor. A big commit from Dignitas on getting their buffs, but this lead is continuing to grow for Rival.
Yeah.
Mid-camp control seems to be going their way, even despite Herwin's little bit of XP advantage. Maybe they are getting some degree of mid-camps, but every buff being triple split is really becoming a difference for Rival.
I mean, this is trouble now for Herwin. He's been caught, and Panda Cat finds the first blood. Comes knocking on the door there in the mid lane, and Rival on the board first.
That's an instance where you don't want mid-camp timer because you're not going to be tempted to walk into the jungle. No ward vision there for Rival, but just knowing that this is when the mid-camps are up. Obviously, Dignitas is going to want to get them, so let's lay the trap. PBM right on time, doesn't even use the Sunder in that spot. And Trixtank just far too far away to ever help.
And that is the plight of Kukulkan at times. So he was pretty caught out. Not a whole lot of people make it out of that situation, but it's just not as hard as some other mid-mages to catch him, as PBM might be making a rotation for variety, but Tyr with Lawbringer still available should be safe. They commit the Sunder into the execute. Perfect from Rival, but Trixtank throws two underneath the tower. Bino K makes it out with the ultimate. Polar Bear Mike transforms as well. Rival get their pick and lead.
Can you tell they've practiced a lot with the Sunder?
Oh,
man?
yeah.
That timing window absolutely flawless between PBM and Bino K.
Filthy.
And that's perfect because Dignitas' composition is so built to team fight later on. Where are they supposed to take fights at this point in the game? There's no wonder they've been so passive.
Well, this is critical, though. Kubo Fred finally putting a little bit of pressure onto Arco, and that's an easy kill there for Dignitas. And now, obviously, that one's going to work for the Susano almost every time. But I'm wondering if that's almost too late. Can Susano not do that any sooner? I mean, Atarax has been under pressure all game.
He has been, but they don't know that the ward vision's really there. Mike has been hanging around mid for so long that it's hard for them to commit to a rotation to the left-hand side and expect to not get rotated on. PBM had to back after that little engagement on the right-hand side. I think that's a good window for Kubo to exploit. He just hit a big power spike in the Brawler's V-Stick at the same time. And now you're leaving the window even more open because Arkil was level 12 but hadn't backed for Aegis quite yet. Now that he has that Aegis, could be a little bit safer, but he still doesn't have beads for almost 2 minutes.
Could potentially get exploited yet again by Kubo Fred if the Susano chooses to show up on that left-hand side. Meanwhile, Ataraxia moving into some crit on the Jingwei. This has become the new vogue, it feels like, for a lot of the time. Instead of going into that rage, to go into something more along the lines of a Wind Demon or Poison Star early on. And it's been popular because it works in a lot of situations.
It's just good stats on Wind Demon in particular. Poison Star is more if you want to stand and fight a whole lot, but Wind Demon gives Jingwei everything she wants. The ability to catch up to you very quickly if she's had the advantage. She already has the movement speed and the long dash with the agility. But then also the ability to get away from you. She's going to crit you with Explosive Bolt at some point. So getting that extra movement speed really helps.
Gold Fury being pulled by Rival, and they are burning it quickly. Desert Fury there as well to raise the DPS, and Rival get it. For Herwin can even consider the ultimate way too late. And right now it feels like Rival doing just about whatever they want. Finding picks and right, finding the Gold Fury, controlling the map.
Just feels like Dignitas is a little bit not quite ready for the pace that Rival wanted to set in this game, and I don't know how they expected anything different. This is the pace that they went at against Sanguine yesterday. This is the pace they prefer to play. It's not to say that Rival can't play the long games, because they still do that very well, but it's really their ability to blow the game wide open early, and it's not through kills necessarily. I mean, it's only 2-1, but a 4K lead has developed because they are just
I love drinking rum, propane, and coke.
And when they aren't double splitting,
Coke Zero.
They're taking it. They're at the
That's a drink for a man.
Kills. Rival is just playing.
And very clean too. Remember that gank they had in right on the variety? I mean, that puts you on notice. I mean, I know Renegades and SK got to worry about each other right now, but in the background,
no, not cocaine.
Kind of nuts. They have to look out for that if they make it through. Trixtank just trying to reposition back towards the tier 2 in left. Rival again aggressing into the jungle, but nothing really giving there, and they back off.
Maybe nobody was thinking that.
Really built to go a little bit later anyways, because Captain Twig starting to go for the Pythags piece. That's going to be a great late game item once everyone starts to group up. Panda Cat's going for an item that really helps him quite a bit right now, but also
YouTube is not cool.
Later on into an Aaron dive.
Trick's tank blinks past Polar Bear Mike to try and get to Arkle. Instead, just ends up taking a